Kal, Halal, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Bahashem, Rakah, Gadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone who do rule well, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. So, I'd like to talk about the housing market and where it's headed right now. And it seems like we're entering into, if not already in, a bubble from investor funds and private equity groups and these other real estate buyers purchasing up single family homes above market value. So, got this article pulled up on BlackRock. It's written June 12th, 2021, and it's by Fox News. It says, BlackRock, other investment firms killing the dream of homeownership, journalist says. The New York City risk and investment management titan, BlackRock, is among several high-powered firms pushing working families out of the housing market and into rentals, therefore depriving them of capital and the opportunity to build credit and equity. According to a Wall Street Journal report, BlackRock, led by billionaire Lawrence Fink, is purchasing entire neighborhoods and converting single-family homes into rentals, while in cities like Houston, investors like Fink account for 1/4 of the home purchases. On Tucker Carlson Tonight, Chronicles journalist and associate editor Pedro Gonzalez said that BlackRock's actions are leading 40% of American renters to believe they will never be able to purchase a home. Alright, that's about it on that one. Let's switch over to... Oh, I actually found a Twitter article about the exact same thing from that Wall Street Journal article. And this guy says, not that I can't say this is a absolutely reliable source, but from what he's saying, BlackRock is buying every single family house they can find, paying 20 to 50% above asking price and outbidding normal home buyers. He's asking the question, why are these corporations, pension funds, and property investment groups buying single family homes like this? But you even go down to his comments, and the first one says, entire neighborhoods out from under the middle class. Let's take a look. Homes are popping up on MLS and going under contract within a few hours. BlackRock, among others, are buying up thousands of new homes in entire neighborhoods. And I've noticed this over the last year and a half, maybe even 2 years, that these houses are popping up onto the market and they're under contract same day. And in a lot of cases, they're cash buyers. And it's like, yeah, some guys have cash to go ahead and buy a house like that, but how many actually do? And so it does lead you to think that it's through equity groups, and they have all this capital, and so they can actually purchase a home with cash in hand. But looking at more of his comments, he says, so who is BlackRock? Only the world's largest asset manager and the leading proponent of the Great Reset. They're looking to redistribute, get this $120 trillion, the entire wealth of the world's middle class and poor combined several times over. So with this neighborhood that's in the article up here, he says a 124 new home neighborhood was bought in its entirety in Texas. Average Americans were outbid to a tune of $32 million. Homes sold at an average of 20% above listing. Now the entire neighborhood is made up of SFRs, which are single family rentals. And so they're buying up these houses overpriced, which is actually raising the values of the homes on the market. all around them and setting them as rental homes. So with these comments, it's got to make you think of that quote that says, "You will own nothing and be happy." And also, like real estate companies like Zillow and Redfin and Open Door, they're doing the same thing, and they have an unfair advantage of it because that's their business. I didn't even know that Zillow actually did that. I thought they just showed what was being offered in whichever area you're looking at, but they're using artificial intelligence and stock bots to identify when a property comes onto the market, and with that, the identification of this property, they're able to find a value and go ahead and offer on that property above what your average buyer would be willing to pay for it. And as the article said before, 20 to 50% above. And so that's what Zillow has been doing. And they're, like it says, why do so many homeowners sell to Zillow? Because it overpaid. The Slate article says Zillow torched $381 million overpaying for houses. Spectacular. And yeah, they're able to identify which houses are coming onto market, go ahead and evaluate it and put it under contract and buy it for more than what the so-called free market would be able to bear, which in turn creates a bubble, which the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, is going to burst soon. And you can see that happening with Zillow because at their quarterlies, they were under like 300 to 500 million. And Zillow, they weren't doing it to where they were buying it and holding it and putting renters in. They were doing it to where they're buying it, maybe putting a little work in to rehab the place, and then selling it off to the market. But yeah, that's crashed on them, and so they're stopping all this buy, fix, and sell. It says Zillow to shutter home buying business and lay off 2,000 employees as its big real estate bet falters. TikTok video accuses Zillow of manipulating the housing market. Here's what's really going on. And it looks like they're having to, because they overvalued them or overpaid for them so much, and the market is slowing down, the real estate market's slowing down, and they're actually selling these houses off. I don't know why they would sell for a loss instead of just holding them, but yeah, it's crashing. But anyway, and also, if you didn't know how real estate market valuations work, it's to where you have whichever home you're looking to sell or evaluate, and you make a radius around it half a mile out, and you go back about 3 to 6 months looking at the recently sold properties, and you analyze from there and come up with a valuation based on how similar those houses are. So you just compare it to what's been sold, basically. And so with them owning a lot of houses within a relatively small vicinity, they're actually able to control the value, because say you buy a few houses underpriced, you can eventually buy another few houses and overprice them, buy it way over, and that immediately raises the value of the homes that you already had by a significant price. But anyway, let's get into the scriptures right away. I want to go to James 5, verse 1. Go to now, you rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you, because the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai is he's going to burst their bubble. He's going to burst their real estate bubble, their financial bubble, their plans of this great reset, and everything that comes with it. Moving on, your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rest of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. It's those missiles. You have heaped treasure together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you, kept back by fraud. And this shows their fraud. They're overpaying for these houses to get them at an unfair advantage from any potential buyers. By fraud crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. And the cries of them which have reaped are the Israelites, the elect of Israel. Moving on to verse 5. Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter. Let's go to Job 20. We'll go down to 15. He hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly. And there's all these riches that he's gathering by fraud and through his different ways and policies and all these, just how he gets stuff. He's going to cough them up to the elect of Israel and to Yahushai. We move down to verse 18. That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be. Everything he's taken, that's what he's going to have to get back. And he shall not rejoice therein, because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor. Who's the poor? The Israelites. Because he hath violently taken away a house which he builded not. And the violence right now is not through the sword. That is his blessing. But that violence is actually, it's coming through the pen and through contracts that he's making. Let's go down to 27. The heaven shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. And right now we're peeling back the veil of what he's doing in the real estate market, what he's doing in the financial market, and what he's doing all over the earth in all sorts of, in every way, everything he touches. And the Lord's revealing that to us. 28. The increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. This is the portion of a wicked man from the Most High, and the heritage appointed unto him by the Most High. You're going to cough it up, Esau. Let's go to Micah 2:2. And they covet fields, and they do. Anything they see, they want it. And take them by violence. And as I said, that violence right now, at least in this current situation, it's through the pen, it's through contracts. And houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man and his heritage. And so Yes, in this situation, the house and the heritage is speaking of the house of Israel and the heritage that they've taken away from us because they're out there claiming to be the people of the Lord, which they are not. We are the Negroes, the Latinos, and the Native Americans, as well as anyone who comes from that line through their father's seed. But we can take this and apply it to this housing market and how they are oppressing a man in his house, literally by overbuying and overvaluing these projects, these properties that they're buying for much over what the actual valuation is. And when the market is much higher in value than what the real property actually is, that creates a bubble. And with that bubble, the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is going to come and pop it. He's going to burst it with his pin. With that, I'd like to give all glory, praises, and honor to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom to the elect of Israel.